Welcome, dear students, to another class of computer applications. Today, we are going to start a new unit, that is Introduction to Python. In today's class, we are going to cover the topics like Introduction to Python, then features of Python, then application areas of Python, and then what is program and how to learn a programming language, and then environment of Python code and how the modes are there in Python. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to Python. So this Python is a programming language that is used to write programs, and it was created by Guido van Rossum when he was working at CWI. CWI stands for Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica, which is a national research institute for mathematics and computer science in Netherlands. Okay, so this language is initially released in 1991 and it got its name from BBC comedy series from 70s. In 1970s, this BBC comics, one of the famous comic series was there, Monty Python's Flying Circus. So from that particular magazine, the programmers, they have given the name to this language as Python. Okay, so Python can be used to follow, there are different types of languages and different type of approach. So this Python, it follows both procedural as well as object oriented approach. Object oriented approach means which follows all the rules and features of object oriented programming, and procedural programming is step by step. Okay, in which we are having like a procedure that we have to follow. Okay, and this language is free to use, that is open source programming language. Okay, so let's discuss the features of Python. So as it is a general purpose programming language, that means it can be used for scientific and non-scientific programming. Okay, scientific programming includes like AI, robotics, and IoT, etc. And non-scientific means for general purpose applications we can write programs in Python. It is platform independent programming language. Platform independent means it doesn't depend on machine or type of operating system. It is able to work on any type of operating system or platform. Okay, it is a very simple high level language, and it is having a large set of libraries and add-on modules. Okay, so we will discuss the modules and add-ons when we will cover the basics. Okay, and it is an excellent for beginners as the language is interpreted and hence give intermediate results. Python is interpreted language, as we have seen in the chapter 1 that there are two types of language translator. One is interpreter and one is compiler. So this Python is interpreted language. Okay, so programs written in Python are easily readable and understandable. Okay, so you can say it is easy to learn, and it is suitable for extension language for customized application, and it is easy to learn and use. So these are the basic features of Python. Okay, now let's move to the areas where Python is used. Okay, so this language is used by various companies in real revenue generation products. Example, in operations of Google search engine. It is also used by YouTube, Intel, Cisco, HP, IBM, etc. These are the companies that are using Python for hardware testing. Apart from this, iRobots uses Python to develop commercial robots. Maya provides a Python scripting application programming interface to interact with the users. And NASA and other institutions, they are also using Python for their scientific programming tasks, and BitTorrent peer-to-peer file sharing is also written in Python. Okay, next is this Python language is used in a variety of fields, such as for developing software, for developing websites, scientific computation. It is also used in big data and artificial intelligence. Okay, so these are the various fields where Python is used. Okay, next is before starting a programming language, let's try to understand what is program. Okay, so a computer cannot do anything on its own. It always needs instructions to perform a desired task. So a program is just a logical sequence that computer can understand, and it is a set of organized, or you can say organized data, or instructions, and it is the set of programs is also known as software. So initially we are having instructions that are organized in a proper way, then it becomes a program, and with the set of programs we can make a software. So this is just the introduction of program. Okay, now let's learn how to learn any programming language. So for learning a basic language, it can be Hindi, English, or any French, German language, what you need is, first you need a alphabetical set, and then with the alphabets you will form words, and then with the help of words you can form sentence, and with the help of sentences you can form a paragraph. So similarly it happens in programming also. So for learning a programming you should know the allowable character set, and then with the help of these character sets we will form data types, keywords, identifiers, and with the help of data type, keywords, and identifiers we will form an instruction, and the set of instructions is known as program. So we will develop program with these steps. So for learning a programming language you should know these the basic things in programming. So this is the generalized way of learning any language, programming language or a general purpose language. Okay, so let's talk about Python code and environment. So to write and run Python program, we need to have Python interpreter that is installed in our computers. IDLE, that is a environment, GUI integrated environment, graphical user environment, stands for integrated development learning environment, and most popular Python development environment. So IDLE, it's let's edit, run, browse, and debug Python programs from a single interface. From that interface, we can write programs in Python. So we will be using 3.7 version of Python IDLE to develop and run Python code in this course, and it can be downloaded from www.python.org. Okay, so this is the website from which we can download the Python. Okay, now modes in Python shell, that means execution modes. So Python is divided into two categories or ways, that is the modes. First is interactive mode and second is scripting mode. In interactive mode we are having a environment that act as a calculator or that gives us a result in instantly. And scripting mode is the mode where we will write the whole program and we have to save it with .py extension, and after saving that program we can run it with run option. So Python has built-in editor called IDLE which can be used to write programs. After opening the IDLE we can click on file, and then we have to go on new file to create a new file, then write a program on that file and we can save it to with desired name. So by default Python scripts are saved in Python installation folder. So here you can see the interactive mode. Interactive mode, as the name suggests, it allows us to interact with operating system. Scripts mode, let us create and edit Python source file. So now we will first start with interactive mode, and here we can type the Python statement and then it will give us results intermediately. And for working in interactive mode we will start Python on our computer ideally. So a window will appear that shows the Python interactive mode. So here you can see is the Python interactive mode. This first thing is the known as title bar, that is showing 3.6.3 shell, and after title bar you will find a menu bar, file, edit, shell, debug, options, window, help. These are known as menu bar, and after menu bar you will find a prompt sign. These greater than 3 symbols, they are known as prompt sign, and here we can write the code. So see here, 1 plus 2 gives you 3 as a result, 4 minus 2 will give you 2 as a result, and hello plus word, if you will type, it will give you a combined result of hello word program. So these are the few small programs or instructions that we have given in interactive mode. Let's talk about scripting mode. Scripting mode, you have to go and click on file, and then you have to click on new file, and then you have to write the code. So untitled form like this will appear, and where you have to write the print statement. So here 2 print statements are written, and after writing these statements you have to save this file and you have to click on run option. As soon as you click the run option you will find the interactive mode give you the result of this Python script. So like this, you can write a program in scripting mode also. With the first thing in learning a programming language, that is character set. So see here, the character sets means character set is a set of valid characters. Characters means what are the symbols that are allowed in a programming language that a language can recognize or identify. So a character set represents any letter that includes A to Z, capital, small, digits, or any other symbols. So Python supports encoding, Unicode encoding standard. That means it has these character set that are letters, that is from capital A to capital Z, then small a to small z, digits 0 to 9. After that, special symbols. Special symbol includes space, plus symbol, asterisk symbol, slash symbol, forward or backward slash, double asterisk, okay, slash, O, 0, double slashes, okay, equal to, exclamation mark, double equals to. So these types of symbol, greater than, less than, period, dot, that means dot, asterisk, and double quote, and then and percent sign. So these are the symbols that are special symbols that are allowed in Python character set. Apart from these, there are white spaces. White spaces means blank space, tab, carriage return, that is enter, new line, that is next line, form feed. Okay, so many we will use, and sometimes if we are not using it, then don't worry about that. By using it, you will learn about them. And other characters includes like ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and Unicode. So these are the parts of character set. Okay, every component of a Python programming is created using these character sets. Either it will be a statement, expression, or it can be any other component of a program. That means for writing any instruction in a Python programming language, we have to use these character sets. Okay, next topic is keywords. So keyword means these are the reserved words. Okay, so each keyword has a specific meaning to the Python interpreter. As I have told you in the features of Python, that Python is an interpreted language. So in this, each keyword is having a specific meaning that is told to program interpreter. Okay, next is, as Python is case sensitive. That means in Python, if you're writing something in capital, that is having a different meaning, and if you're writing something in a small letter, that is having different meaning. So keywords must be written exactly as they are. Okay, so in SQL, as we have studied that SQL keywords, they are not case sensitive. We can write in capital select also, and we can write small select also. Okay, that doesn't make any difference. But here in this case, it is case sensitive. So keywords are always written in the way it is given here. So these are the keywords: none, false, class, continue, finally, is, return, and, del, if, else, if, else, escape, break, in, race, pass. So these are the list. Don't worry about them. You don't have to learn them, but you should know 4 or 5 keywords. Okay, so by using it continuously, you will remember them, that this is a keyword. Okay, so just right now, when it will come in exam, just write 4 or 5 keywords that you should know. Okay, next question, next topic is identifiers. Identifier means when we are naming some variable or some other programming identity like functions or other entities in a program, then we have to follow some specific rule of naming that. Okay, so the rules for naming an identifier in Python, these are given here. First rule is the name should begin with an uppercase or a lowercase alphabet. That meaning of this is the name of an identifier is always start from an alphabet. It can be either uppercase, that is capital, or can be a lowercase. Or if it is not an alphabet, then it should be an underscore. So that should start either with alphabet or underscore, then it is a valid name. Okay, this may be followed by any combination of characters, that is A to Z, small, capital, or it can be a number or an underscore. Okay, so thus an identifier cannot start with a digits. If an identifier is starting from a digit, then it is a invalid identifier. Okay, next is it can be any length. The identifier, that means the variable name, whatever you are giving, it should be of any, it can be of any length. Okay, but it is preferred to keep it short and meaningful. That is, according to your program, you have to give the names to our variables. Okay, consider it identifiers same as variables that we are declaring in maths. Okay, it should not be a keyword or reserve word given in table. The table that we have seen in previous window, that it should not have any keywords that belongs to that table. Okay, we cannot use special symbols like exclamation mark, at the rate, hash, dollar, percentage, etc. in identifiers. So these symbols are restricted in identifiers. Okay, let's see some examples of valid or invalid identifiers. So here in this first table, the names that are given all are valid. Marks maths, like this you can write. Marks English, marks IP, capital small combination you can write. You can start with underscore, in between you can put underscore. You can write numbers after some characters, that will be valid. Okay, but now let's see invalid identifiers. Okay, in invalid identifiers, you will find that the names that are starting from a number, that is wrong, and in between if there is dash symbol or slash minus symbol, that is also wrong. Break is also wrong because it is a keyword. For is also wrong, it is a keyword. So for checking these things, you should know about the keywords. Okay, so for that you have to see that table. Carefully, very carefully you have to see that table. Okay, next is my dot file. So this dot symbol or period symbol is not allowed in identifier's name. And 231 ww, it is also wrong because it starts with a number. So these are invalid identifiers. These types of questions are asked from this chapter, that identify valid or invalid identifiers. For that point of view, you have to memorize that table, or you have to see that table carefully, keywords table. Okay, next is, let's talk about variables. What are variables? So variable is just a name location of variable. Okay, variable is also an identifier. We call it identifier whose value can change. That means like x or y, if we are assigning some value to that, so we can call x as variable. X is equal to 2, so x is variable. Y is equal to 5, that means y is variable. Okay, so for example, age can have different values for different person. So variable name should be unique in a program. Value of variable can be string. String means alphabet or group of alphabets. Okay, it can be a number also. Okay, or any combination of alphanumeric values also. Okay, so in Python we can use an assignment statement to create a new variable and assign specific value to them. Assignment means this equal to symbol, we call it assignment operator. Okay, so gender is equal to m, so we are assigning a character to variable name gender, that is m. Message is equal to keep smiling, so this keep smiling is the string that we are assigning to a message. And price is equal to 987.9, so this is the number we are assigning to the variable price. So variable must always be assigned values before they are used in the program, otherwise it will leads to an error. Whenever a variable name occurs in a program, the interpreter replaces it with value of that particular variable. Okay, to check about variables, let us understand it with some programming example. So just see this example. I'm explaining it step by step. So the program name is, we have to find the sum of two numbers, given numbers. Okay, we are having two numbers, we have to find the sum of those numbers. So see here, num1 is equal to 10. That means we are having a variable name num1. Okay, and then we are assigning it a value 10, and number 2 is also a variable, and we are assigning 20 value to number 2, and result is also a variable, and we are assigning it a value number 1 plus number 2. Now we are having a result in result variable, and now we are printing the value that is stored in result. So what result we are getting is 30. 10 plus 20 is equals to 30. So we are getting the 30 as an output. Similarly, we are having another program that finds the area of a rectangle. Now here we are having length is equal to 10 and breadth is equal to 20. And what we are doing is we are finding an area. Area is equal to length into breadth, and we are printing the value of area. So here 20 into 10 is equals to 200. So this is the result of this particular program. About data types, then literals and values, and then in literals also string literal, numeric literal, floating point literal, numeric literals, then boolean and special literal, that is none. So let's start. Data type means like whenever we are assigning some value to a variable, so we should know what type of values that particular variable is holding. It can be a numeric value, it can be a value that is having a decimal number, it can be a sequence of strings, it can be a list, it can be a tuple. Okay, so this list that is the figure that shows the data types in Python. Okay, so data type just identify the type of data which a variable can hold and the operations that can be performed on those data type, and after performing those operations what type of value that particular variable is getting, that is known as data type. In simple term वी कैन से डेटा टाइप मीन्स कि किस तरीके की वैल्यूज उस वेरिएबल में है. ठीक है, टाइप क्या है, क्या वो न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू है, क्या वो स्ट्रिंग वैल्यू है, या फिर वो कोई डेसिमल नंबर है, किस तरीके की वैल्यू. एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं जेंडर. जेंडर में हम जो वैल्यू स्टोर करवाएंगे वो एक स्ट्रिंग होगी, आइदर मेल और फीमेल होगी. तो इस तरीके से वो जो टाइप है, किस तरीके की वैल्यू स्टोर करा रहे हैं, वो डेटा टाइप होता है हमारा. ठीक है, तो डेटा टाइप्स आर कैटेगराइज्ड इनटू न्यूमेरिक डेटा टाइप, sequences, sets, none, and mappings. Okay, in numbers also we are having three categories, that is integer, floating point, or complex numbers. Okay, so these are the types of numbers that can be stored as a data type. Okay, and integer also includes boolean, that is true or false value. Sequences stores strings, list, and tuple. So we will talk about these later in different chapter. Sequences and sets also, none, and mapping and dictionaries. Okay, so we will talk about them later. So just now we are talking about literals. Literals means a constant value. Okay, so literals also is of different types. So we will talk about first string literals, then we will talk about numeric literals, and then we will talk about boolean literal and special floating point literals, and special type literal, that is none. Okay, so let's start. Literals values means constant value that a data item can have that fixed value. Okay, so it can be of a string literal or it can be a numeric literal. literal का meaning ये समझ लो कि एक तरीके से कि किस टाइप का constant value है वो. ओके, अगर 10 है तो 10 क्या है, एक इंटीजर टाइप की कांस्टेंट वैल्यू, तो हम कहेंगे वो इंटीजर लिटरल है. ठीक है, अगर वो एक नेम में अगर हमने कोई हेलो या कोई और नेम दिया है तो वो किस तरीके का लिटरल हुआ, वो किस तरीके की वैल्यू है, वो स्ट्रिंग टाइप की वैल्यू है पर्टिकुलर. ओके, तो हम कहेंगे वो स्ट्रिंग लिटरल है. ठीक है, सो बूलियन लिटरल, स्पेशल लिटरल, नन. ओके, सो लेट्स सी this example. So here num1, num2, these are the name of the variables, and 10 and 20 are constant values. In number 1 we have provided 10 value, and in number 2 we are providing 20 value. So both the values are integer literals. Okay, and number result, that is holding the addition of these, so that result is also a string literal. So literal means that thing. Okay, which type of constant values it is holding. Okay, similarly for length, breadth, and area also. Okay, and here we are calculating area of rectangle, and if we are calculating area of circle, so it can be in decimal also, so that is known as floating type literal. Okay, that is having decimal points. Okay, so this is about examples of literal. This example we have seen in previous class also. You just execute it and you can find the results. Okay, so see here string literals. So strings can be enclosed in single quote, it can be enclosed in double quotes, or it can be enclosed in triple quotes also. So string can represent in single quote, like the example is given single a. Double quotes we can represent like gender, this is a value. Okay, we can also assign string in triple quotes. So here string 1 is a name of variable, and in that we are giving a value hello welcome to Python in triple quote, and we can use double quotes thrice also, like give example given here. So these are all valid strings. Okay, so apart from this, here you can see that how we can determine the size of string. Okay, size means how many character that string, particular string is holding. Okay, it includes space also and special characters also. So len is a math function that is used to determine the size of string, or you can say length of string. So here like the example is given, we can find out how the size of a string. So string 1 is a variable that is holding a value hello. Okay, so if you want to find the value of how many characters are there in hello word, so you have to use this len method. So just write len and then bracket, just pass that variable. So here we are passing string 1, so you will get a result with a numeric value that is 5, HELLO. So it is having 5 characters, so the length of this string is 5. Okay, so like that you can find out. Now let's talk about numeric literals. Numeric literals in Python can be of 3 types. It can be integers. Integers means the integer scale, that includes positive, negative and 0 values. Okay, it can be a floating point numeric literal, that is real number with written in decimals. Okay, or it can be a complex number that can be written in 2 plus 3j, that is 2 is the real part and 3 is the imaginary part. The complex numbers in mathematics. Okay, so complex numbers are a different type of number in mathematics, so that type of values also we can hold in numeric literals. Okay, so let's see about more integers. Okay, so see here, integer data types contains all negative, 0 and positive integer numbers. So valid examples are given here. A is equal to 10, 10, 15, 35, 12, 34. These are the valid examples of integer literals. Okay, so name of the variables A, B, C, D, they are holding these values. Directly we can write 10, 15, 35. These are the integer values. Okay, now you have to notice that thing, that whenever we are writing integer literals, don't use 0 before any number, because if you are writing in that way, then it is converted into octal number. It is not considered as your normal number, or it is considered as an octal number. So there are 3 types of number. One, it is decimal number, another is octal number, and another is hexadecimal. So it is considered as octal, and that is having a different value as compared to normal numbers. Okay, so don't just skip that thing. If you want to store in octal, then you can use, otherwise just leave that. Okay, so these are the valid examples of literal. And before this 10 there can be a plus symbol also, there can be minus. If minus is there, then it is negative integer, and if there is no symbol, then it is considered as a positive integer. Okay, next is floating numeric literal. Float numeric literal means float data types contain fractional values, or you can say real data type. Real means that is having decimal. And now it is having 2 forms. One is fractional form, one is exponential form. Exponential form means that is having power also. Okay, so these float numeric literals, they are also known as real literals because they are having fractions or exponents. Okay, so example of float literals fraction form is given here. It can be in form of 2.0, 17.5, minus 13.0, 0.3. Okay, and if no decimal, then it is not a real literal, it is considered as a integer. Okay, and some examples are given here. They are invalid examples. C7 and 7. Why it is not valid? Because it is not having any fractional value. Okay, so it is just considered as integer. It is invalid float number. If you're writing plus 17 divided by 2, it is also invalid because this slash symbol, this division symbol is not allowed in fractional form. Okay, and if you're writing 17.250 250 sorry 0.26.2, so this is also invalid because it is containing two or three decimal places points. Okay, so that is also invalid, and comma is also not allowed in floating number. Boolean literal and non-literal. So Boolean literal in Python, it can store 2 types of value. It can be either true or false. So here see example, I have taken a variable name with marks given and its value is true. And when I have taken again this same variable and I have assigned it a value false. So you can check its type by using a type method. So just write type in IDLE and give this pass this variable. You will get its data type as bool. Bool means boolean. It is holding a data type value that is boolean. Okay, none is also a special type of literal, that means no value or unassigned value. So if we don't know any value, we can assign it none as a value or literal, and then we can check its data type and then you will get it as a result none. Okay, it is a special type of literal. So this is all about